Hello boys, welcome to another session of video tutorials. This session is meant for class 12th biology boys, and this video is meant for 26th June 2020. And if you recollect from your memory, we were talking of populations interactions. What are the various means and ways by which populations within a given ecosystem interact with each other? We said there are two types of interactions, that is intra-specific interaction. Within the species, if there is a interaction, then we say inter means in between the two species, then we say interspecific interaction. So we have already discussed two interactions, predation and competition. Now we are going for parasitism. What is parasitism? Parasite, you have been hearing the word. So from parasite, this method comes, parasitism. It is a relationship between two living organisms of different species in which one organism is called parasite, another is called host. So the parasite obtains its food directly from host. So who is getting benefit here? Parasite, because it is drawing food. And who is losing? Host is losing. So the interaction, parasitism interaction is one is plus, another is minus. Species A, parasite, is getting benefited because it is drawing food from the host. And species B is losing its life, in fact. That's host. It may be food or it may be the whole life itself. Hence, there is plus minus interaction. So parasitism is plus minus interaction. It is interspecific interaction, and host gets harmed, as we said, and parasite gets benefited. And parasites are host specific, and parasite has tendency to evolve along with that. And a parasite should have certain adaptations because it has to draw the food. So there has to be certain organs to draw this. What are that? So the parasite undergoes certain adaptations. One, parasite tend to co-evolve. Already we have said co-evolve. It means that if the host evolves a special mechanism to reject or resist the parasite too has to evolve a mechanism to neutralize it, because both are fighting for survival. So the parasite tends to co-evolve along with the host. It may lose sense organs, loss of sense organs. Presence of suckers and hooks. This is very, very important. You can see here the sucker there, and loss of digestive system. High reproductive capacity. This is another important adaptation, high reproductive. So some parasites have complex life cycle and generally have one or two intermediate hosts. Normally the parasites will complete their life cycle with the intermediate host. That means directly they can't. So the intermediate host act as vectors. Like you must be remembering mosquito, house flies. These are all vectors. They carry. What do you mean by vector? Vector is a carrier. What does it carry? It carries pathogens. Okay, but it is not producing. Remember, vectors will not produce. Who is producing the pathogens? It is the parasites. But who is carrying that from one place to another place, from one person to another person, from one source to another source? It is vector. So we say vectors are carriers. Like female Anopheles, we say. Female Anopheles carries pathogens, the protozoans. And whenever that female Anopheles bites a person, the disease spreads from person to person. That's why we say it is a vector. So human liver fluke has two intermediate hosts, a snail and a fish. Malaria, as we are discussing, has one intermediate host, that is female Anopheles mosquito, to spread to other host. So here you are seeing it. The spermatozoids or sporozoites are entering into this, and in the life cycle you can see the most affected ones are RBC, red blood cells. So red blood cells will be broken, and the parasites get that sporozoites, and sporozoites will be staying in the saliva of the mosquito, Whenever the mosquito bites another person, the spores are released and person gets malarial fever. Hence, you must be careful. That's the reason why we say the mosquitoes and vectors must not be in the place, otherwise they spread. Human lice and ticks are ectoparasites. Lice, they are small insect-like things on your head, scalp sometime, and they bite and suck the blood. So they become nonsense to you sometimes. And the ticks, of course, they are also present outside externally. They bite us and suck the blood. Since they are staying outside and sucking the blood from us, we say ectoparasites. Of course, there are endoparasites like worms. That is Ask helminthes. We talked about in class 11th classification. If you recollect from your memory, we talked about the phylum Ask helminthes. So this helminthes, worms will be there. They are endo. They stay inside our stomach and eat up the tissues. So copepods are the ectoparasites on some marine fish. And cuscuta is a parasitic plant. You must remember the name of this. You are seeing here Hastoria. Special structures called Hastoria will be there, that yellow ones. Those Hastoria will attach to the host plant and suck the nutrition. So cuscuta is a parasitic plant. Normally he will ask you, give an example for a parasitic plant. So remember cuscuta. It lost its chlorophyll and leaves during evolution, and it gets nutrition directly from the host plants. And then we go for commensalism, another type of interaction. Commensalism, it is one species benefited, another species neither benefit nor loss. So it is neutral. So it is plus and zero interaction. How to define it? Commensalism. One might get the benefit from the association, while the other is neither benefited nor harmed. Example, you can say epiphytes, many epiphytes like orchids, bromeliads. They are found growing on the branches and in the forks of trees. Here, they are only growing on top. They are not sucking it. Okay, not the sucking the food. It is the interspecific interaction in which one species benefits plus, and the other is neither harm nor benefit. So zero. That's why I said commensalism is plus and zero interaction. Example, epiphyte, orchids growing on a tree branch, and you can see barnacles growing on the back of whales. You are seeing in the photo. See, beautiful photo has been taken. That's whale. On the whale you can see those barnacles. And association between egret bird and grazing girl. In your own village you must have seen, whenever a buffalo or a cow is going for a field, on top of it one white bird will be sitting on it. That's egret. So it simply sits so that no transportation is free, and sometimes it gets benefit also. In the skin of the cattle, cow and buffalo, sometimes the ticks will be there, so lice will be there. So the egret bird will eat off, but it is not causing any danger to the buffalo. Egrets always forays close to cattle and grazing because they easily get insects. So here plus, the egret bird is plus, but for the buffalo it is neither benefit nor harm. So zero. So plus and zero. Clownfish living along with the sea anemones. Clownfish get protection from predators, and suckerfish on the back of the shark. These are all examples of amensalism. Now we go to mutualism. As the name says, mutual, in between. So it's the interspecific interaction in which both the species get benefited. Plus. It is always plus. And quickly, right from your 9th class, you are hearing the word lichens. So what are lichens? It's the association between fungus and algae. And how is that both are getting benefited? Algae, being green in color, undergoes photosynthesis, prepares food and gives to fungus, because fungus is non-green. And fungus having chemicals in it, particularly antibiotic, will give protection to algae. So fungus is giving protection to algae, algae is giving food to fungus. So mutual benefit. Hence we say mutualism. And mycorrhiza again, in association, it's a association between fungus with the roots of higher plants. So these are the two examples, best examples for mutualism, lichens and mycorrhiza. Now in mycorrhiza, what do they use? Fungus as usual, it secretes antibiotic substances and gives protection to higher plants, and the plant having long roots sucks water and food and gives to fungus. So plants depend on insects for pollination, and in return they give them nectar. Again, mutualism. Both are getting beneficial. Animals help the plants to in the seed dispersal, and in return they give fruits to animals as food. So we are all seeing this. Now fig tree and pollinator species of wasp you are seeing. So the figs can be pollinated by its partner wasp. Okay, you can see here wasp. And then we come to another interaction, that is amensalism. So here, what do you mean by amensalism? It is minus and zero. So one animal is getting loss and another animal is having neither loss nor benefit. So zero. So minus and zero interaction is amensalism. So in amensalism, one organism inhibits the effect of the other. The inhibiting organism does not gain much benefit. This inhibition is done by secreting allochemicals, allochemics. Fungi produce different kinds of antibiotic substances such as penicillin to destroy the pathogenic bacteria. The process of preventing growth of other organisms through secretion of toxic chemicals is called allelopathy. Allelopathy. So here it is the interspecific interaction in which one is harmed, that is bacteria, the other is neither benefited nor harmed. So penicillium secretes a chemical penicillin, kills bacteria. So minus. And the other one for penicillium what? No, there is neither benefit nor loss. Hence the interaction is minus and zero. Now there are some questions, interesting questions which you can see. Now let me not show you the answers first. You just see, name the interaction in each of the following. Cuscuta growing on a shoe flower plant. What is the interaction? Cuscuta, remember I told? Mycorrhiza, just now I said, living on the roots of higher plants. Clownfish living among the tentacles of sea anemone. Quail laying her eggs in crow's nest. And 5 closely related species of warblers living on the same tree. So just think of it, what type of interaction it is, and after thinking, check your answers, whether your answers tally with this. Parasitism, first one, that is Cuscuta growing on a shoe flower plant is parasitism. Mycorrhiza living in the roots of higher plants, mutualism. Clownfish, just now we saw that photo, living among the tentacles of sea anemone, commensalism. What is commensalism? What did you say? Commensalism, it is plus and zero. One is benefited, another is neither benefit nor loss. And then quail laying her eggs in cow's nest, that is brood parasitism. What is this brood parasitism? In birds, it's a fascinating example of parasitism in which the parasitic bird lays its eggs in the nest of its host and lets the host incubate them. So here the bird is laying eggs, quail is laying her eggs in crows, and crows will inhibit, will make the eggs, will make the eggs to incubate. And this is a new one, brood parasitism. And then 5 closely related, of course, it's competition with resources partitioning. Resources are same, heavy competition, 5 species, 5 warblers fighting for the same. Hence, I hope you understood all